Just when you thought there couldn't be another unboxing video, Greg Chapman is a Bram Stoker nominated horror author, and he recently reached out to me and asked if he could send me a box of books. He wanted to do it as a gift, just as a fan of the channel, which was super sweet of him, especially since he lives in Australia and he was sending it all the way here to Ohio. That's not cheap at all. And I just want to say thank you so much, Greg. This was super sweet of you. I know you said you were just sending this as a gift and that I don't even need to review the books, but these are going to go in my review pile for sure. As I said, I have no idea what's in here, but I did take a look at Greg's back catalog and I saw some of the books that he's published, and some of them are very familiar to me. I've not read them and I didn't own them, but I have seen them around, so I was very curious to see if any of that's going to be in here. I have no idea. This is going to be a complete surprise to me. But he did say he's very excited for me to see what's inside. And I am too. Books always make me excited. Don't worry, I'm not going to stab myself. Only you. Let's open up this box and see what's inside. At the moment, I'm seeing a lot of bubble wrap, which is good. Awesome. Okay, so this is one of the books that I have heard about. I've seen it around because it is a Bloodshot book. Bloodshot Books is one of my favorite publishers. I just love them. In fact, I did an unboxing dedicated to them recently. I'll post that in the card symbol up there. So this one is called The Nocturne, I think is how you pronounce it, by Greg Chapman. The synopsis on the back of this says, psychiatrist Dr. Desmond Carter always believed his former patient, author Simon Ryan, was dead. But when a blood-stained manuscript penned by Ryan arrives at his offices, Desmond begins to doubt everything he thought he knew. Not just about the troubled author's past, but his own sanity. Desmond seeks truth, but instead he discovers the wellspring of madness. In Pandemonium, the sequel to his acclaimed 2011 novella, Greg Chapman drags you deeper into the nightmarish reality of the dark muses, creatures forged from the very darkness in our own souls. The words contained within will drive you mad and damn you to hell. Subtle. I love it. The Nocturne, I probably am mispronouncing that, I'm sorry if I am, is the first book. It is included in here, and then the sequel, which is called Pandemonium, is also in here. So this is a bind up of the two books. Yeah, he did sign it for me, which is awesome. Thank you, Greg. The next one is called Torment. And this is a novella. It's super short. I love a good novella. That means that I can add this into my big binge read of all of the books that I have to review that are under 200 pages. This will fit right in, which means I can get to it soon. Jessica Newman's tragic childhood has come back to haunt her. Her father, a Catholic deacon she hasn't seen since he was found not guilty of her mother's death during an exorcism ritual, has turned up dead in Scotland with a wound to the head. Forced to take her family to Scotland and deal with her father's estate, a derelict mansion in the Grampian Ranges, Jessica begins to question her mother's death and the role her father played in it. The house and its dark basement could provide more answers than she bargained for. That sounds so good. Dark, spooky mansions up in the middle of nowhere, spooky basements. I'm all in. So there you go. That is Torment. Next is The Followers, another novella. I can add both of these to my binge read. That is awesome. Signed book, very cool. David Brewer is trying to keep his family alive in a world torn asunder by a biblical apocalypse. Yet there is salvation in the guise of a stranger who offers survivors sanctuary. All they have to do is declare their faith in God's final and bloody plan. Very interesting. I love a good religious horror story. Alright, yes, I was hoping this would be included because I saw it in his back catalog and got very interested. This is The Last Night of October. Now obviously, I think you can probably guess why I was so interested in this. Because it's a Halloween book, and look, it's so short. which means I can cram it in October, which is great. 70-year-old Gerald Forsyth dreads Halloween. Every year on October 31st, a lone child has knocked on his door, a nightmarish reminder of a tragedy from Gerald's past. As each Halloween came and went, Gerald has been able to keep his door locked and the monstrous memory at bay, but the ravages of emphysema have left him a disgruntled and feeble-minded old man. When a new hospice nurse named Kelly arrives unexpectedly to replace his regular nurse on Halloween night, Gerald is caught unawares, and before he can warn her, Kelly is inviting the threat into his home. The horrors that unfold will be no trick, and the only treat the child will accept is the old man's soul. Before the night ends, Gerald will have no choice but to bring his dark secret into the light. That sounds amazing. It's illustrated. That's even better. And I know that Greg is an illustrator, so he probably did the illustrations himself. Let me take a look and see. Yep, it looks like Luke Spooner did the cover art, but Greg Chapman did all the interior illustrations, so that is very cool. Next is Hollow House. I've heard a lot about this one. This one looks so good. It was nominated for a Bram Stoker award. It is just the old house on the corner. No one in Willow Street pays it any notice. Not the disgruntled Campbell family next door, not Alice Crowley and her suicidal daughter, or Mr. and Mrs. Markham down the road. Not even Daryl, the loner at number 70, who is abnormal himself, thinks much about it. It is just the old Kemper House, forgotten and abandoned, until it makes itself known. When the stench of death wafts from Kemper House through Willow Street and comes to the attention of recent resident and newspaper reporter Ben Traynor, it starts a chain of horrors that brings Kemper House's curse into their own homes and leads others direct to its door. Kemper House not only haunts its neighbors, it infects them with an evil that traverses time and reality itself. This sounds really good, and it reminds me of Terrified. It's a Spanish film. So good, so scary. That movie scared the bejesus out of me, and that doesn't happen. I don't get scared easy, but that movie really got to me. And this kind of sounds like that, with the whole town kind of being haunted. Next up, we have Netherkind. Very cool cover, and I'm so happy these all arrived in good shape. They all look beautiful. Not a dent to be found, and they came all the way from Australia, so that's cool. I'm glad that everything's in good shape. Thomas is no ordinary man. To live, he must devour human flesh. His habitual existence is one of killing and feeding and taking on the physical characteristics of his victims. Thomas tries to fit in with the rest of humanity, but when his beautiful neighbor, Stephanie, deceives him and turns out to be a monster just like him, he decides to discover his heritage and take revenge. Little does he know that there are many other fleshers out there hiding in the shadows of the world, and they are at war with each other. Sounds very cool. Alright, next. This is cool. Now, like I said, Greg Chapman is also an illustrator. He's a really good artist. He included one of his art books. Look at this beautiful thing. I'll flip through it a little bit so you can see. I don't want to show you everything because I don't want to spoil the book. If it's still available, I don't know if it is or not, but if it is, I don't want to spoil all the awesome artwork that's inside. But this will be a really cool coffee table book to set out in my living room this Halloween season. Oh my goodness, look at this. The Horrible coloring book. This is so cool. Oh my goodness, the artwork inside is so good. Oh, this has a lot of classic imagery in it too. Love it. Love it. This is so cool. Alright, so there we go. A nice big stack of books from Greg Chapman. This is awesome. Thank you so much, Greg. I am so happy that you enjoy watching Library Macabre, that you're a fan of the channel. It really means a lot to me. You didn't have to do this, but it is so sweet of you. So thank you. Everybody go check out Greg's work. I will leave links down below to his website and some links to some of his books on Amazon so you can go and check them out. Please go and support this guy because he's really cool. And thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing. Don't forget to join me next time on Library Macabre. Later, creeps.